There we go. Welcome to another scene set in the living world of darkness, New York by night. To this hopefully brief little departure from whatever it is that you're doing in the world. Probably not much, considering you're watching this scene. Yeah, I said it. I'm taking on the elephant in the room. We begin our scene in an office of Sam's. He has a few. He has a lot. Having invited Kate once again to a meeting
For a cup of tea.
for a cup of tea. Upon arriving at the predetermined location, and this time you don't really have to knock the door; it's already open. You'll find that there is in fact tea there, and Sam is sipping it. This office is far more lovely than the one that you've been to before, or rather it's simply larger and looks more neat. It's still not particularly ostentatious or anything. It's an office, but it looks nicer. There's a plant in the corner, which looks nice and looks like it actually gets some sun every now and then, when Sam isn't. And yeah, everything is fairly well furnished. It's a little bit minimalistic, but it's a style. And as he sips tea, and you go to the designated room. You knock on the door and open it. You're told that the door is open. Yes, you'll hear Sam say, "Ah, take a seat, my dear. Would you like some tea?"
Kate will enter through the door, and she'll close it after her. She'll close it behind her. That's the word. And she will look at. I'm assuming that Spillane is holding a cup and saucer in his hand with his tea.
There is a cup and saucer. There are two.
Well, she will look at it and she'll kind of smirk. I think we both know what will happen if I drink tea with you.
It's blood tea.
Well, if that's the case. Kate will nod and will say, "Yes, please." And she will just sit down without asking.
There's really only enough for it's a fairly insignificant amount of tea. It's like a blood point's worth. It's not a lot. You feel this is deliberate. Sam's probably trying to conserve his resources while actually trying to share and be nice. Needless to say, the war has put him in a bit of a hard spot when it comes to being charitable with his blood supply. Nonetheless. Hey, how does the night serve you? There's not been too much going on recently, other than, well, each individual doing their own thing, it would appear.
Kate nods. Apart from making preparations for the mission for Elizabeth, and of course the lovely movie that we have seen together, I haven't been up to anything exciting.
Aye, things have all but slowed to a crawl, which is a bit interesting considering this is supposed to be when the world's at its peak. The conflict between these two princes and the Sabbat really is quite tiresome.
Kate nods. I expect that you will, any moment now, continue to that you will make my week way more exciting than it has been.
Ah, you know me too well.
So thank you. Um, ah, Kate will just smile at him with a big bit of a smirk. Well, I guess our negotiations have been good for something then.
Oh, you could say that.
Kate will sip her tea and she'll look at Spillane and she'll ask, "So, to what do I owe this lovely pleasure?"
Hmm. Oh, you know me, when I feel like something's a big enough deal, I tend to call a meeting over it. I'm lovely and formal like that. You're, you're someone that happens to be quite fiercely supportive of Theodore, I believe. You told me before, right?
What was it you said?
Uh, um, I believe you told me before you were someone who's quite fiercely supportive of Theodore.
Um, Kate will smile and she'll say, "Well, let's just say that the other option is not compatible with my lifestyle."
Lifestyle, lifespan, more like.
Kate will laugh out loud.
Even if I
And
were
then
on. Oh, sorry. What does she do?
she'll put a hand in front of her mouth to at least try to be polite or civil or and try to suppress her laughter.
Don't worry, I'm not as stodgy as some of my other clanmates. Hmm. No need to worry about laughing in front of me. I know someone like Langwood might take offense. Me, I'm a bit more easygoing. I won't leave that uptight around other than true. Wink.
You could almost say anal.
I really hope she says that in character, and by that I mean Sam will have to make a self-control roll. um, um,
One moment.
the reason I called you here is because I feel compelled to offer you a choice of sorts. It was one that I was required to make not too long ago. It's why I now find myself a position I am now in.
Kate will have a mildly interested look on her face. Oh, care
I'm
to
sure
elaborate?
it will become clear in a moment. I'm sure you're aware that Tremere now support Maria for her claims to praxis over this city.
Yeah, it didn't surprise me.
Nat
I would have thought
Lucius is
that they,
supporting that claim.
yes, I don't think there will be any Tremere that would overthrow the hierarchy that they have.
I don't know much about the Tremere hierarchy, other than that they have one, and that there's something called a regent, which is basically their form of a prince in the city.
Yeah, I don't like the regent very much. She seems to be a not so lovely woman. I've had a few dealings with her, and let's just say I'm glad I'm not associated with Tremere that tightly.
That's an interesting comment. Your coterie leader's a Tremere. And
That
is
is
supporting
correct.
the regent. And your political opponent for the prince. Well, for the
Mm,
title of prince, sorry.
yep, yep. Fuck it, you don't need to roll for this. You can see that Kate is a bit annoyed.
It's Sam or at
For that, you can roll. I don't expect you to not or to fill this
Oh,
role, but just
okay
do it for the
then.
hell of it.
I mean, yeah, I get 3 successes. Oh, you can't see my dice.
No. Well,
I got 3.
at one she's annoyed for the fact that that Tremere is backing not to say that Tremere is backing, but that the leaders in her coterie um indirectly are backing um Anna Marie. And that you point out the obvious to her. It's not as if it hadn't crossed Kate's mind before. That is all you see.
Yeah. Sam takes in on a few rare breaths. It's almost like he's indulging himself. Mm. As you know, I respect Lucius a great deal, but I also support Fyodor for the title of prince.
Oh, see, did Kate already know this? I don't think she did. Right?
No, but it was like kind of putting 2 and 2 together, really. It's like all the signs were there.
Okay. Well, let's just say Kate looks not surprised that you would support Theodore, but that you just openly stated that in front of her.
A look of revelation. I thought I'd made myself fairly obvious.
That might
Jeez.
be, but I didn't suspect you to openly acknowledge it.
Well, you're a Brujar. Your clan already supports Fyodor for the title of a princedom, and obviously so would the caitiff. What a clanless, rather. Should really stop using that term.
And then the clocks chimed. Midnight, and Cinderella lost her shoe. She ran down the stairs. Kate will just smirk when you say Kate if we're clanless. Kate doesn't really see it as an insult.
How high is her academics?
I'm pretty sure it's
If it's zero, it's fine. If it's zero,
but
it's fine. I'm literally just asking what the stat is because I could tell you. Well, does she know what cative means, the term?
Yes. Academics 1.
Okay, yeah, she knows the term cative is translated as contemptible. It's literally a racial slur. So if you're not offended,
Still
good on
not
you.
offended.
Still not offended. Good on you. You're a tough bird. Tough as they come.
Well, Kate just knows that she can kill a whole lot of purebreds, cative or not. So she's like, you fuckers, just wait. I'll show you what a cative is made of.
I'm sure Lucius has probably already told you several things about Maria.
Kate nods. Yes. And Chul, in a sarcastical tone, say, "She is the best thing that could ever happen to the city. She will be loyal towards anyone who aids her. She will treat everyone as an equal, and she will not cast away anyone that helped her to secure the princedom."
She's best friends with Yvette.
Rolls her.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. No, finish it.
She kind of rolls her head and her eyes at you.
Aye. And she's best friends of a kindred that has been quite open in his fervent genocide of the cative in Europe. Clanless. Kind of shakes his head and self. Doesn't do it that patronizingly, as if actually it's kind of like a tick that he's trying to ignore. Do you know what she first said to me when we first met?
Spaulding is trying not to be a racist.
He's trying real hard not to be a racist.
What was that again?
He's trying real hard not to be a racist. She said she wants a Primogen councillor that will do what she wants, and she wants all the high clans in a position of power. Which means even if you weren't a clanless, and you're not now, the bourgeois would have no place here. I know this because
she
I've
would shit
dealt
on
with
us.
her. Oh yes. The only position you have would be a Primogen, and nothing else, most likely. Lucius would be the sheriff. No, Lucius would probably be the seneschal. We'd have Alec as the sheriff. Maybe. Depends. It could be that Lucius negotiates some agreement, otherwise Alec would most likely just be a Primogen. And that would be the most... Yeah, because he wouldn't say Alec would have the title of sheriff because he doesn't know Alec has turned himself over to Maria yet. It's not public information. My bad. I retcon that. You'd probably have Lucius as a sheriff, some Toreador as a seneschal.
Lucius.
And most likely other positions of authority, including the Mistress of Harpies or Master of Harpies, filled by another high clan. She is an ultra-conservative in every sense of the word. A lot of people think they can stomach Maria and they can play around her. Scott's trial was evidence they cannot. It's also evidence that they're not doing what they must to properly support Fyodor. And I feel like somebody needs to support Fyodor.
Kate nods. So why aren't you backing Maria? High clans. So it would be in your best interest for Maria to be elected, wouldn't it?
It would be in my best interests. But believe it or not, I do hold myself to some semblance of what we would call a standard. I've witnessed Maria and gotten to know her for some time. Fyodor is unilaterally the better leader and more qualified. It is also a rather petty play by Maria herself and her sire. Her sire is the Prince of Paris, Francis Vallon. What's a camera low? Actually, you don't. Yeah, you have camera low like what? 1? You need it 2, I think, for you to get this.
Yes, you broke up the last bit, but you asked me for my Calmarilla lore, or?
Yeah, camera low. Because he mentioned who Maria Sire was.
Oh, two.
Francis Vallon, Maria Sire is one of the most powerful princes in Europe. And he's claiming this is a play specifically by him, not by Maria, to extend her power base, to expand his power base. This is a play in a jihad. Obviously, we already knew this. We just didn't know who was doing it and where from. Up until now, or I've known this for quite a while, but I've kept the information to myself. Francis Vallon is trying to extend his power base through Maria. Maria herself is not actually that important. She has a great deal of political backing, but that is largely because of Francis Vallon's own power. Anyone who understands history would understand that Marie Antoinette is a very young elder. She is an elder, but her power, compared to many others in Europe, is lacking. There are other forces pulling the strings. Fyodor has reacted because he has a grudge, specifically against Lady Maria, many of which were for her wrongdoings, but some of it is also personal. I won't indulge you there, unfortunately. If Fyodor wants to tell you, that is his business and nobody else's. But Fyodor is going through this rationally. He's putting his grudge aside, despite his initial reaction to it, to try and serve the city at its best, as its most qualified leader. Maria is doing this because she's a pawn to her sire, and to the ultra-conservative faction of our sect, which, considering the city we live in, is likely to start a civil war, either with the Camarilla itself and almost certainly the Anarchs. Now, I said I was going to present you with a choice. I met Fyodor a few nights ago, and he presented me with the same choice. Because at the end of the day, I was on record as officially supporting Maria, and I'd gotten 2 of his supporters into a great deal of trouble. I'll be frank, both of them deserved it. Unfortunately, that was actually part of a maneuver that didn't turn out as planned due to the failure of Fyodor's supporters at the time. I don't blame you, you weren't there. I blame Benji and O'Connor.
Lol.
Yeah, his head tilts up and then tilts back down for a moment. I rejected Lady Maria's position for the Seneschal. Lady Maria's offer for the position of the seneschal if she were to take the city. That was a choice I made as an act of loyalty towards Fyodor. In other words, he asked me to put my money where my mouth was. I want to form a coterie to act as a bulwark to support Fyodor. And to ensure the future of not just the low clans, but also the high clans within the city. Believe it or not, I do earnestly believe that at the end of the day, in the long run, Fyodor being the prince would serve everyone the best. Not just the low clans and the clanless who have so much more to gain and so much more to lose by Maria becoming prince. But it would be a signal that the high clans need to change and adapt to the times. And that Europe is no longer the center of their world.
So what are you planning to do?
Pardon?
Pudding, you're still there?
Yeah, no, I'm still there. You just lagged out for a moment, so I didn't hear you. Hello. Hello. Oi. Seashells.
Oi, oi.
Okay.
No.
What did the Kate say anything? Pardon? You're lagging out a bit.
What was the last thing you said? What did the...
What did that?
What was the last thing you said? I couldn't hear you.
Sam said. Sam concluded. Said he was going to. Okay. He said he's presenting. He said something about a choice and that he's going to present. Not you, Kate, with the same choice that Fyodor presented him. In that he says to her that he turned down the seneschal position that Maria offered him, and everything that she offered him, because Fyodor asked him to, and Fyodor asked him to put his money where his mouth was, and that was an act of loyalty towards Fyodor, and that he is asking Kate to do the same. And that he wants to form a coterie as a bulwark, as a shield, basically, a shield and sword, to support Fyodor. Does Kate react to that? Oh no! God damn it, seashells.
Lisa's grandparents are fussing over me. They keep asking if I'm not cold or if I'm hungry or if I need anything.
Ah.
But do you have... Who will be part of this coterie? Kate will ask.
I plan to recruit Haydn and Roach, the new Nosferatu in the city. I would recruit Miss
When you
O'Connor
say,
to the chorus as well, but she's currently part of Invictus.
well, as you know, I'm already part of the unit.
Sam doesn't give fucks.
Sam will just say, I won't repeat all that they've already done to screw you over. I'm sure you're already aware.
Kate nods.
But I'm sure as loyal as Lucius says he is towards the unit, I figure the timing between his change in support and the Tremere supporting Maria is awfully convenient. I also consider it a rather grand act of betrayal. Not that I'm in a position to say such things, considering who I am and the reputation I have, but considering I actually made the principal choice, I feel somewhat vindicated. He gives a bit of a cheeky smile.
Kate will look amused at. Yeah, Kate will look amused that Spillane is somewhat aware of what kind of image he represents towards the other kindred. Goddamn clock. Standing offer, or do you need my answer right now?
When Theodore gave me this choice, he said he'd give me 24 hours to think it over. So I'll give you the same luxury. You certainly earned that much.
Kate will give you a warm smile. Okay, thank you. I will use that time to discuss everything with my mentor.
That would be wise. I understand this is not an easy choice for you. It wasn't for me either. It got pretty heated between me and Theodore for a while. But at the end of the day, sometimes it really is that binary. It's either A or B, and there is no C.
And Kate nods. I might know someone else who might be willing to join your coterie.
I see.
Understood?
Quite. Which person are you referring to?
Benjamin Pollux.
Ah, the probationary sect member. I'll have to talk that one over with Theodore. Mainly because he could ironically be used as a weapon against us, similar to Selena.
Kate nods. Well, at least
However,
as in loyalty goes, Kate will look a bit, is it? As if she knows something you don't. It has a pretty word, but I can't remember what it is.
She knows some.
Spiritually. Yeah, she knows something you don't. That is the kind of look she gives you.
Kind of gives you. She gives Sam a conspiratorial look.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
At least we'll be sure where his loyalties lie. I think if you ask Theodore about, be able to fill you in more about the situation, since Benjamin is my roommate and my sparring partner.
I see. Even if you weren't a member of the coterie, I'd offer him support from the backline, so to speak. It's actually something I'm quite specialized in. Honestly, I would have preferred not to make a coterie at all and continue on my business as I was initially planning to, but unfortunately, just as events forced Theodore's hand, The same has happened to me, and it now seems to be something of a snowball effect, wouldn't you say? He kind of looks to her as if this is almost a stray. It's like a passing of the torch in all the wrong ways. That just as events have forced Theodore, just as events have forced, in turn, that forced Sam. Sam has in turn forced this upon Kate. And kind of gives her this like self-aware, human smile, as if like, "Yep, this is your life now."
Kate will just grin back at you and that you are now in an what is it? Not a painful but an annoying circumstances. How's your life for?
Oh, pardon, I didn't get that last bit.
The limelight, since you're now pushed out of the shadows and are acting in the open instead of how you usually. Still
Hi.
didn't catch any of it?
No, I did.
Okay.
I catch some of it, and he's like,
Okay.
"I'm sure I wouldn't like the limelight. The sun's hot, you know."
Kate will laugh out loud with that one as well. And she will not put her hand in front of her mouth. She will just about it. Never thought I would get to see the day that I saw a Ventru joke.
I'm not your average
Apparently,
venture laugh.
all started.
Oh, sorry, he just said I'm not your
What
average
was he
venture
saying? Kate will just chuckle. You make a point out of showing me that every single time.
It's part of my charm. He gives like a wink, a cheeky grin.
And Kate will, not sarcastically, but overly feminine, over the top, like, "Oh my!" and she'll fan her hand.
He'll kind of like casually wave at her with a napkin from the little tea set. It's like very slow and almost lazy. Like it's more sarcastic than anything else, but you're not even sure if it's supposed to be sarcastic. I'll just say, right. Well, I have shown you much, and said what I wanted to say, so I suppose that's all for me.
And Kate nods and she gives you a wink. Well, once I have cooled off, and she'll smirk, I'll let you know my answer.
Aye. Although I'll say this one thing. There are only two people who say you aren't allowed to leave. And those two people, well, the names of those two people are Ajax and Isaac. I left Invictus in quite a hurry. Then I rejoined and ended up leaving again. That is a whole nother story, however. Not really related to the one I told you today. Another tale for another time, perhaps.
And Kate
Just
will
know
nod.
that it's
I'll
only
make sure
those-
I'll. Yep.
Just know it's only those two people that can order you to stay. And really, considering what happened to Invictus, I don't think they're really going to stop you from doing anything. Both of them
Kate
would
will nod.
understand why you'd want to
I-
leave. Sorry. Go ahead.
Will say, I wasn't planning on asking Isaac for permission to ask about it. And if he says he doesn't see any reason for me not to follow through with this, then I'll go to Isaac and tell him that I will be leaving. But first things first. First, I'll have to clear it with Ajax.
Try to at least part on amiable terms with your former coterie mates, though. I don't want them to feel like I'm poaching you, or that you're selling them out. Neither of which is true. Well, there's subterfuge because part of that statement, that's a half truth. That is, he genuinely doesn't want the coterie to feel like Kate is selling them out. At the same time, like what Sam is doing is the definition of poaching. So, oh look, that is, what? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 successes. You don't need to roll. I think that's twice as many dice for empathy that you have. So, Sam, once again, out of the inglorious, the magnificent lying bastard that he is, comes across smooth as a cucumber.
That gives me a beautiful image in my mind. Kate will nod. I've seen what happens to someone
Dragging you
that
out to all these wonderful, wonderful offices. If you ever want to use one as a haven, you're free to.
Kate nods. What happens to a member of the coterie if their actions or their attitude no longer aligns with the actions or the mission of the unit? And I don't tend to be a subject of that anytime soon.
Well, if
But
nothing
thank you
else,
for coming to talk with me. There's nothing else.
well, I thank you for your appreciation for fine office furnishings. She just looks around the room. This being like the third office Kate has seen that belongs to Sam. It's a shame. I really appreciate the unit's work, but politics poisons everything now. Anyway, I should let you get on your way. And
Kate
he will,
nods.
Kate will ask, where will I be able to reach you?
Ah, yes. You share your room with Benji. Little bit problematic, oh well. Alright. This is a little bit conspiratorial of me. But around the back of this building, there's a dumpster. Underneath that dumpster will be a burner phone that you can use. It'll have a number on it. I prefer not to use my main means of contact, as it's too vulnerable nowadays. So we'll use burner phones to keep in touch. Does that sound good? Does that sound good, seashells? Get back here.
Yay.
Get
I'm
back
back,
here.
but you broke up majorly.
I think you gave me a card with a number on it that I could call.
No. Basically, he's directing you to a drop-off point with a burner phone, which will have a number on it. It basically means it's a secure means of communication that only they can use to contact each other. And he intends for the whole coterie to use these burner phones. He claims this is because more open and nominal means of contact nowadays, such as just using the phones they normally use, is too vulnerable and too easily accessed. It will maintain security for the coterie without compromising it.
Yeah, okay.
So you get another phone.
Cool,
A free phone.
Oh, the special treatment.
Yay, my cute baby fledgling.
Kate will stand from where she Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Kate will stand up from where she was seated and bullying for basically his trust in her.
Some would nod.
Oh. Either way, you'll be hearing from me pretty soon.
I suppose so. Alright, you're Apscallion. Oh, sorry, you're Apscallion. Get going. You need to have a chat with your mentor. And he will comically, obviously not seriously, shoot her out of the room. And I think with that, as they go their separate ways, we will end the scene right there.
Yes, please.
No, thank you. We're continuing the scene now. Oh, gosh. Seashells ruined it, everyone. I'm sorry. God damn it. Fucking Caitiff, man. Seriously.